What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to go over the community corner number 24, kind of give my thoughts and opinions as well as their responses to some of the questions that they did answer. Now, the first thing I need to talk about is there are a ton of issues with version 43, and Epic is fully aware of them. They are, working on glitches, issues with the store, crashes. They've had just a ton of problems. They're fully aware of them and they're working on them. And I can say there have been a handful of issues that I've personally experienced. In the first game that I played, I had a crash. I believe I've had 2 other crashes since then, and I've just had a lot of laggy games. So hopefully they'll get that straightened out. At least the servers didn't crash like they did in 42. So that's good, but they are, dealing with some issues. Now, that also brings up a point. If you have played Richter currently, his silence is really slow, and it takes a while to activate. It's just got a bug. That his silence just completely has a bug, and that was an unintended thing. It was a complete accident. It just, wires got crossed whenever they went to version 43, and that is an unintentional thing, and it will be fixed. So he did not receive a nerf, even though he is kind of nerfed at the moment. They're working on it, and, we just have to trust that they will fix it. Now, the first question that was asked was, why are we getting to full build at 25 minutes? Y'all said we don't want there to be a full build, but we kind of are getting to that full build, and it's faster than it's ever been. That's paraphrased, kind of, but their response is, hey, that's not really true. Full build would be if you had 75, points into your ability trees, had all your cards, and then they even brought up cards like, the one that gives you power for 4,000 gold, whatever the name of that is, unless you just had intellect on, you could never reach full build, basically. That was kind of their response. There is no full build anymore. It's, I've never played a match that I got anywhere close to 75,000 gold. But, I do kind of feel there is a full build in the game. Once you kind of have all your cards on, you don't increase in power. You don't really increase in health. Once you hit 50 points, whether you are going agility or intellect, once you hit 50 points, you basically have 25 in one tree, 25 in the other tree. To me, that's kind of full build. I don't need to have 25 points in intellect if I'm playing Chimera. Or I don't need to have 25 points into intellect if I'm playing, Sparrow or Twin Blast. That kind of thing. So, I don't know if I fully agree with what they said, but their kind of in-depth response is more like, we want teams to snowball. That's really it. If you're in an even match, say my team versus your team, and we're on the same playing level, that's not ELO, that is we are playing on the same level. We're both farming very well, we're both, engaging properly, everything like that, that game will last longer. That game might be a 40-minute game. But if my team is way better than yours or your team's way better than mine, that match is going to be very short. It's going to be a 20-minute match, and that's by design. They want that to happen. And, I gotta say, I'm on board with that in a way. Their basic idea is better teams play, or, better farming teams are going to have the advantage, and we want them to have the advantage. We want them to win. And we want them to win quicker than, taking 45 minutes to actually secure the victory. I can't count how many matches that we've got down, to 2 inhibs. This is previous versions before 42, where we've got down where, we've got 2 inhibs missing, but we don't want to just give up and quit. We want to still continue, and the match might last another 15 minutes. That's crazy. They should just all coordinate together, push a lane, and win. And the way it's set up now is they don't really have to do that, because if they get to that point, if they've got all their tier 2s up and we're down to just a single inhib, they've got such an advantage on us that they're going to, their minions might win the game for them. And that's kind of how they want it to be. They want teams to snowball. And by doing this, this shortens playtime. Now, I have to say, I'm fully on board with the idea of this, but at the same time, there are some kind of issues that I have, because if you have, I'm a big solo player, or, just get into very small teams of one or two other people, and I might get on a team that we've got one person that's just absolutely feeding, and the rest of the team is playing great. Well, that one person that's feeding or just playing very poorly really changes the game. No matter what, you can't make them play better. You can't keep them from feeding. You can't stop them from playing the way they are. So the match ends, and you might get into that long, drawn-out match because the other four people are playing amazing, but that one person is just constantly feeding, and it ruins the game. So, which that's always kind of been an issue. I don't think that issue's ever going to go away. But it does kind of feel in version 43 that we are being punished a lot more for having players that either aren't on the same skill level or that are, salty and just want to throw the game. The team that has that teammate on, their side, they're being punished more than they used to be. And I don't know if I'm fully on board with that. Just the speed and everything. If I'm defending off lane, it takes me a very long time to run over to safe lane. And the minion wave is going to push faster than I can actually rotate. And by the time I do rotate, clean that up, my off lane is being pushed again. So, it does feel that with this increased speed, teams that are having that, poor player are being punished more. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if it can be fixed, other than saying, hey, we're not going to allow people to feed anymore. Other than doing that, there's really no way to stop that. So, it is what it is. Let's move on. Before I move on to the next question, they did bring up supports and people saying, hey, I'm a support and I'm not getting enough farm. And this is strictly, yes, that you're correct. Supports are kit heroes. They are not gold card heroes. Narbash, Narbash is an amazing hero without any cards other than putting on Lamplighters. Yeah, I don't really feel the same way about FaZe or Muriel. Muriel's up there, but she does need some cards. FaZe is the exact same way. I think FaZe is very underwhelming if you don't put cards on. And I just kind of think Decker's in a bad spot right now. But there are some issues that they're going to have to work out with supports. But I think version 43 has made an improvement, especially with FaZe. If you saw my video, I think she's definitely improved. I don't know if she's going to be my go-to support, but she's definitely much, much better. The next question they answer is Epic planning on creating a better replay mode? And the quick answer for them was yes. They're working on it, and, they kind of give us a... We'll get a better replay mode when we get a better UI. That's kind of what, their answer was. And we don't know when we're getting a better UI. We know they're completely redoing it all, but we don't know when it's actually going to arrive. So we'll definitely have to kind of wait and see. But hopefully it'll be sooner than later. I'm gonna guess it'll probably be at the beginning of the year. But, like I said, that's just kind of a guess. Now, they do have a better system when they do their exhibition tournaments or, just really their tournaments. And those systems are live. The system we have is delayed by, that 2-3 minute timer. So the live system can be much better, but that system, for whatever reason, cannot be implemented into the current game. I would assume for one thing because, I could go, hey man, you've got a guy coming to gank you, Besides that fact, there are clearly some other issues that, are having to be worked out. Now, the last question they answer is, how do you feel about objectives in the jungle, like Raptors and Prime? And they kind of say, hey, right now Raptors and Prime are placeholders, which, I don't really like hearing that, but as a direct quote, they say, we need more things to do in the jungle. And I completely agree with that. The jungle is very boring. It's, go clean out your camps, go grab green, go try to get a kill, maybe head over to the river, get the river buff, head back to your jungle. Is there a gank? Okay, clean out river. It's very boring and it doesn't feel good. I would really like to see jungle have more things to do. Have a difference in camps. Some camps are 5 small minions. Some camps are 2 big minions. Some camps, there's this massive minion that does tons and tons of damage, but he's worth a lot. Kind of like the Raptors, but inside the jungle. Having those type of things, that would be amazing. And they say, hey, we're trying new things out in the jungle and trying to see if we can come up with a better system. So, you got to take away from that, expect more changes in the jungle, which, as of version 43, I'm not a big fan of the jungle right now. The jungle position feels better. I've played a handful of games in the jungle so far, and I should be coming out with the jungle video shortly. But I feel the jungle is just, it's, oh, I don't have anything, I can't kill anybody, I can't make a play, okay, go do the jungle now. I don't feel like the jungle is helping the team in any way. I would be much better by being in lane helping. In version 42, I was kind of the opposite. I was like, hey man, go stay in the jungle until you're level 10 because you're feeding your team like crazy. Now it's the exact opposite. You're not helping your team at all. The only reason you're killing jungle camps is to feed yourself, and you get significantly less experience by farming jungle camps. So going and getting successful ganks is well worth it. To be honest, I think the jungle is boring, but the jungle position is much funner. It's much more engaging if you aren't just, AFK farming in the jungle. Now, there aren't any details about what's being changed in the jungle. They straight up say, hey, I can't talk about it. But, no problem. They are working on making the jungle, funner and more enjoyable. So that's very positive, and I'm really happy to see these changes. Well, that's going to kind of wrap it up, guys. They really only answered those 3 questions. They, did some banter and whatnot, but it was a pretty mellow version, or community corner number 24. So there wasn't really a whole lot to go on, and, I just kind of wanted to break it down for y'all. Well, that's going to kind of wrap it up for this going over the community corner number 24. It was a pretty light week, and, hearing about these jungle changes, though, has definitely got me excited for where they're going to take the jungle. I think it's kind of boring at the moment, but I'm going to get more into that whenever I kind of make a video going over everything version 43 has to offer. I'm definitely planning on making that. I just kind of want to get a little more matches in, get a little more experience. I've got a handful of probably about 15 matches in, but I would definitely like to be able to form a much more solid opinion about the state of Paragon before I come out with a video critiquing it, I guess. But thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and if you haven't joined our Discord, I do have that Discord. I'll go ahead and leave a link here and down in the description. Jump in our Discord. It's really just a community where we talk and play together. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.